Life doesn't have to be overwhelming, and success isn't reserved for some select group of people. The truth is, anyone can achieve it. What separates those who thrive from those who struggle is their understanding of the fundamentals. The simple, timeless truths that guide every decision, every action, and every result they experience. In the next few minutes, we're going to uncover those basics. Not theories, not fluff, but real, actionable principles that will help you build a life of purpose, progress, and fulfillment. Whether you're starting fresh or looking to reach that next level, this is where it begins. These ideas aren't just for hearing, they're for living. And if you're ready to take control of your life and start building your success, then stick with me. You're about to discover what's possible when you master the basics. Let's get started. Number 1, philosophy. One of the greatest discoveries you'll ever make in life is the realization that your future doesn't just happen by chance. It happens by choice. That realization right there is a game changer. And where does it all begin? It begins with your philosophy. Your personal philosophy is the foundation for everything in your life. It's the way you think, the way you see the world, and the beliefs you carry. It's the filter through which every decision, every action, and every outcome passes. Get your philosophy right, and you can change your life in ways you never thought possible. Let me tell you something important. You don't have to accept the life you were handed. You can create the life you want. But here's the catch. You can't do that if your thinking is out of alignment. If you've been struggling, if life hasn't been turning out the way you hoped, it's not because life's unfair. It's not because you were dealt a bad hand. It's because your philosophy needs to change. The good news is you're in charge of that. No one else. It's yours to shape, refine, and rebuild. Now think about this. Every result in your life comes from a decision. Every decision comes from a thought. And every thought is shaped by your philosophy. If your results aren't what you want, it's time to trace them back to the source. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about success, about failure, about discipline? If those beliefs aren't serving you, you've got to replace them. And the sooner, the better. Here's a little story for you. There was a young man who once asked his mentor, "What's the secret to success?" The mentor replied, "Success is easy. You just have to plant the right seeds." The young man was puzzled. "What do you mean seeds?" The mentor smiled and said, "Your thoughts, your habits, your beliefs, those are the seeds. And your life is the garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant weeds, you'll get weeds. But if you plant flowers, you'll get a garden that blooms." That's philosophy. It's about planting the right seeds every day, so your life produces the results you truly want. But let's be clear, this isn't some abstract concept. This is real. This is practical. Let me give you an example. Suppose you believe that success is reserved for other people, that it's something you'll never achieve because you didn't grow up in the right neighborhood or go to the right schools. What happens then? That belief shapes your actions. You don't try as hard. You don't take risks. You settle for less. And what do you get? Exactly what you expected. Less. But what if you change that belief? What if you start saying, success is something I can earn. It's not about where I'm from. It's about where I'm going. That shift in philosophy changes everything. Now you're willing to work harder, learn more, take chances. And those actions, they lead to a completely different result. So how do you change your philosophy? It starts with awareness. You've got to pay attention to the way you think. Are your thoughts lifting you up or pulling you down? Are your beliefs helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck? Be honest with yourself. It's not always easy to admit when your thinking is flawed, but it's necessary if you want to grow. And once you're aware, you can begin the process of replacing those old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones. You do this by feeding your mind with the right information. Read books that challenge you to think differently. Listen to people who've achieved the kind of success you want. Surround yourself with influences that inspire you to be better. And most importantly, act on what you learn. Philosophy isn't just about what you know, it's about what you do with what you know. Knowledge without action is wasted potential, but knowledge applied, that's power. Here's another key. Don't be afraid to question your beliefs. Just because you've believed something your whole life doesn't mean it's true. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it helping me become the person I want to be? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. Replace it with something better, something that aligns with the life you want to create. And let me tell you, this isn't a one-time thing. Shaping your philosophy is a lifelong process. As you grow, as you experience more, as you learn more, your philosophy will evolve. That's a good thing. It means you're becoming more, reaching higher, striving for greater. Never stop questioning. Never stop learning. and never stop growing. Here's the bottom line. Your philosophy is the driver of your life. It determines your destination. If you want a better life, you need a better philosophy. And you don't have to figure it all out overnight. Start small. Start with one belief, one thought, one idea. Challenge it, change it, then move on to the next. Over time, those small changes will add up to something extraordinary. So today, I challenge you to take a hard look at your philosophy. Be honest with yourself. What's working? What's not? What needs to change? And then make a decision. Decide to take control of your thinking, your beliefs, your life. Because when you change your philosophy, you change everything. And when you change everything, the possibilities are endless. Now go out there and make it happen. Number 2, attitude. Your attitude shapes your world. Think about that for a second. It's not the circumstances you're in or the challenges you face. It's the way you respond to them that makes all the difference. Your attitude is like the lens through which you view everything. If that lens is cloudy, everything looks darker. But if it's clear and focused, the world opens up in ways you couldn't even imagine. Let me ask you this. When life gets tough, how do you show up? Because the truth is, tough times aren't what define you. It's how you handle them that tells the real story. Some people let challenges beat them down. They complain, they blame, they give up. Others rise to the occasion. They see problems as opportunities, setbacks as setups for a comeback. What's the difference? Attitude. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to react. Now I get it. Choosing the right attitude isn't always easy. Life can be hard. Sometimes it feels like the world is piling up on you, and you just want to throw in the towel. But here's the thing. You always have a choice. You may not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you think about it, how you feel about it, and what you do about it. That's the power of attitude. It puts the control back in your hands. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I met a man who lost everything. His business failed, his health was in decline, and his relationships were falling apart. Most people in his position would have been broken, and he admitted he felt that way at first. But one day he made a decision. He said, "I'm not going to let this define me. I'm going to figure out how to start over, no matter what it takes." That decision, that shift in attitude, was the turning point. He didn't magically get his life back overnight, but he began to rebuild. He focused on what he could control: his mindset, his actions, his determination. A few years later, his life was completely transformed. And it all started with that decision to change his attitude. You see, attitude isn't just about staying positive. It's deeper than that. It's about resilience. It's about refusing to give up, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about finding the lesson in every failure and the opportunity in every challenge. It's about showing up every day with the mindset that says, "I can figure this out. I can handle this. I can grow from this." And let me tell you something, the world doesn't reward negativity. It doesn't reward blame or excuses. It rewards people who show up with the right mindset. Employers look for people with a great attitude because they know those people are problem solvers, team players, and leaders. Customers stick with businesses that have a positive approach because it makes them feel good. Even in your personal life, the way you treat others, how you show up in relationships, is all a reflection of your attitude. And here's the kicker. People notice. They notice when you're upbeat, when you're willing to help, when you're someone who lifts others up instead of dragging them down. That kind of energy is contagious, and it creates opportunities you can't even see coming. But let's get practical. How do you shift your attitude when life is testing you? How do you stay positive when everything around you feels negative? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. Are you focusing on what's wrong? Or are you looking for what's right? Are you stuck in a cycle of self-pity? Or are you asking yourself, what can I do to make this better? Awareness is key because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Once you're aware, the next step is to take control of your inner dialogue. That voice in your head, it's either your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. If it's feeding you negativity, you've got to challenge it. Replace thoughts like, "I can't do this," with "I'll figure this out." Swap "this always happens to me" with "what can I learn from this?" It sounds simple, but those small shifts in thinking can completely change the way you approach challenges. Another powerful way to cultivate the right attitude is gratitude. I know it might sound a little cliche, but gratitude is a game changer. When you focus on what you're thankful for, it's like flipping a switch in your brain. You stop dwelling on what's missing and start appreciating what you have. And let me tell you, there's always something to be grateful for. Even on the toughest days, there's a lesson, a moment, or a small victory you can hold on to. And don't forget the people you surround yourself with. Attitudes are contagious, both good and bad. If you're constantly around people who complain, who see the worst in every situation, it's going to rub off on you. But if you surround yourself with people who are positive, driven, and encouraging, that energy will lift you up. So choose your circle wisely. Be intentional about who you let influence your mindset. Now, I want to be clear. Having a great attitude doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect. It's not about ignoring problems or acting like nothing bothers you. It's about facing reality with strength and optimism. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but I'm tougher. Yes, I'm struggling, but I'll get through it. It's about choosing to see the possibilities, even when the path ahead isn't clear. Here's the bottom line. Your attitude is your compass. It directs your actions, shapes your relationships, and determines your outcomes. If you let negativity guide you, you'll end up lost. But if you choose an attitude of growth, resilience, and gratitude, there's no limit to where you can go. It's a choice you make every single day. So make the choice that serves you, the choice that moves you closer to the life you want. You have the power to change your attitude, and when you do, you change everything. Your challenges become stepping stones. Your failures become lessons. Your struggles become stories of triumph. And that's the kind of life worth living. A life where you rise above, where you inspire others, and where you prove to yourself just how strong and capable you really are. So go out there and show the world what the right attitude can do. Number 3, activity. Success isn't about luck. It's not about hoping things will fall into place. It's about activity, consistent, deliberate action that moves you closer to the life you want. Let me tell you something. Dreams are wonderful. They're inspiring. They give you hope, but without action, they're nothing more than wishful thinking. If you're not willing to put in the work, those dreams will stay just that, dreams. And I don't know about you, but I think it's a tragedy to leave your potential on the table because you weren't willing to take action. So let me ask you this. What are you doing today to move closer to your goals? What steps are you taking? Because the truth is, success doesn't come from what you say you're going to do someday. It comes from what you do today, right now. Every choice you make, every task you complete, every hour you spend wisely, that's what builds success. It's not flashy. It's not always exciting, but it's the only way to get where you want to go. I'll tell you a story about a young man I once knew. He had big dreams, and he loved to talk about them. He'd say, someday I'll start my own business. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll travel the world. But you know what? Someday never came. Every time he had the chance to take a small step forward, he'd find an excuse. I'm too busy. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm waiting for the right time. And while he waited for the perfect moment, years passed by. The dreams stayed dreams because he never turned them into action. On the other hand, I've met people who didn't have everything figured out, who didn't have all the resources or the perfect plan, but they started anyway. They took one step, then another. They stumbled, they made mistakes, but they kept moving. And you know what? Those are the people who succeed, not because they're smarter, not because they're luckier, but because they're willing to do the work. And that's what activity is all about. It's showing up, even when it's hard. It's doing the boring stuff, the repetitive stuff, the unglamorous stuff that no one else sees. It's making progress, even when it feels slow. It's understanding that success isn't one big moment. It's 1,000 small moments that add up over time. And those moments, they're in your hands. Now let me get practical for a moment. If you want to see results, you have to focus on the right activities. Not everything you do is equal. Some tasks move the needle and some don't. You've got to figure out what matters most and prioritize it. For example, if your goal is to start a business, spending hours scrolling through social media isn't going to help. But researching your market, creating a product, and reaching out to potential customers that will. If your goal is to get in shape, thinking about exercising won't cut it. You've got to lace up your shoes and hit the gym, even on the days you don't feel like it. And here's something else to remember. Consistency beats intensity every time. It's not about doing everything all at once. It's about doing a little bit every day. Think about it like planting a garden. You don't throw a handful of seeds into the ground and expect a lush garden the next morning. You plant the seeds, you water them, you tend to them day after day. And eventually, with enough care and patience, you see the results. That's how success works. It's not instant, but it's worth it. One of the biggest obstacles people face is waiting for motivation. They think I'll get started when I feel inspired. But let me tell you something. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. And if you rely on it, you'll never get anywhere. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you don't feel like it. It's what keeps you moving forward when you'd rather quit. It's what separates the people who talk about success from the people who actually achieve it. And here's the good news. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small, set one goal for today, and follow through. No matter what, then do it again tomorrow. And the next day. Over time, those small wins build momentum. And before you know it, taking action becomes a habit. But I also want to address something important. Sometimes people hesitate to take action because they're afraid of failing. They think, what if I mess up? What if I don't get it right? Let me tell you, failure is part of the process. No one gets it right the first time, and that's okay. The point isn't to be perfect. It's to keep going. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback makes you stronger. So don't let the fear of failure hold you back. The only real failure is not trying at all. And while we're talking about activity, let's not forget the value of reflection. Taking action is crucial, but so is stepping back to evaluate what's working and what's not. Don't just go through the motions. Pay attention to the results you're getting. Are your efforts paying off? Are you making progress? If not, adjust your approach. Activity without reflection can lead to wasted time and energy. Be intentional about what you're doing and why you're doing it. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. What are you willing to do to create the life you want? Are you willing to show up, even when it's hard? Are you willing to take the first step, even if you're not sure where the path will lead? Are you willing to keep going, even when the results take time? Because that's what it takes. That's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. You have everything you need to take action. You have the ability, the potential, and the choice. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Start now. Take one step today, and then take another tomorrow. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. And that, my friend, is the power of activity. It's the key to turning dreams into reality, one step at a time. Number 4, results. The results you get in life don't lie. They're the honest feedback from your efforts, your decisions, and your habits. Results are the scorecard. They tell you, without bias or emotion, how well you're doing in any area of your life, your health, your relationships, your career, your finances. And here's the thing. Results never show up randomly. They're a direct reflection of what you've been doing, how you've been thinking, and the actions you've been taking. So let me ask you, what do your results say about your life right now? Are they what you want them to be? Are you proud of them? Or do they feel like a wake-up call, a reminder that something needs to change? Because whether you like what you see or not, your results are always trying to teach you something. Now, some people make the mistake of blaming their results on external things. They'll say, I didn't get the promotion because my boss doesn't like me, or I'm not in shape because I don't have time to work out. But let me tell you, blaming doesn't change a thing. It might make you feel better for a moment, but it doesn't improve your situation. If you want better results, you've got to take responsibility for where you are and commit to making a change. You see, results are earned. They're not handed out. And they don't happen by accident. If you're not getting the results you want, it's time to take a closer look at your actions and your mindset. Ask yourself, am I putting in the effort? Am I focusing on the right things? Am I being consistent? Because you can't expect extraordinary results from half-hearted effort. Let me share a story with you. Years ago, I knew a man who wanted to improve his finances. He'd read every book on money management, attended seminars, and even subscribed to financial newsletters. But when I asked him if he'd created a budget or started saving, he said no. He thought knowing about money was enough to change his situation. But knowledge without action doesn't produce results. It's the doing, the consistent, disciplined actions that lead to real change. And that's the first key to results: effort. There's no way around it. If you want better health, you've got to exercise and eat well. If you want stronger relationships, you've got to invest time and energy into them. If you want success in your career, you've got to work hard, learn, and grow. It's not rocket science, but it does require commitment and consistency. But effort alone isn't enough. You've also got to be smart about how you're working. It's not just about working hard. It's about working on the right things. Imagine climbing a ladder as fast as you can, only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. That's what happens when your efforts aren't aligned with your goals. So take a step back and evaluate. Are your actions moving you closer to what you want? Or are they just keeping you busy? Another key to results is patience. This is a hard one for a lot of people, Because we live in a world that's all about instant gratification. We want everything now: quick success, quick weight loss, quick answers. But real lasting results take time. You don't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You nurture it, water it, and give it time to grow. The same is true for anything worth achieving in life. I've seen people give up just before the results start to show. They've put in weeks or months of effort, but because they didn't see immediate progress, they quit. Don't let that be you. Understand that the results you want might not show up right away, but that doesn't mean they're not coming. Stay the course. Keep doing the work. Trust the process. And here's something else to think about. The quality of your results depends on the quality of your mindset. If you believe you're capable, if you believe your efforts matter, you're more likely to take the actions needed to succeed. But if you're filled with doubt or negativity, those thoughts will hold you back. So guard your mind. Fill it with positivity, with belief, with the conviction that you can achieve great things. Let's talk about measuring results. If you don't track your progress, how will you know if you're improving? Be honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to be. Set clear goals and check in regularly to see how you're doing. This isn't about beating yourself up for not being perfect. It's about staying accountable and making adjustments when needed. One of the most powerful things you can do is celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Maybe you didn't hit your ultimate goal yet, but did you make a step forward? Did you learn something new? Did you overcome a challenge? Those are wins, and they deserve to be acknowledged. Celebrating progress keeps you motivated and reminds you that you're moving in the right direction. Now let's address the tough part. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, the results you want don't show up. You might feel frustrated, disappointed, or even tempted to give up. But let me tell you, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every setback teaches you something valuable. Every time you fall short, you're given an opportunity to learn and grow. Don't see it as a dead end. See it as a detour, a chance to adjust your approach and come back stronger. At the end of the day, results are your mirror. They show you where you're thriving and where you need to grow. They're not there to define you, but to guide you. If you like what you see, keep going. If you don't, make a change. Because the power to create the life you want is in your hands. So let me leave you with this. Your results are a reflection of your choices, your habits, and your actions. If you want to change your results, you've got to change what you're doing. It's as simple and as challenging as that. But I know you can do it. I know you have what it takes to achieve incredible things. So start today. Take the first step, and then the next, and keep going. The results will come. And when they do, they'll be worth every ounce of effort you put in. Number 5, lifestyle. The life you live is your ultimate masterpiece. It's not just about the work you do, the money you make, or the goals you achieve. It's about the way you feel every morning, when you wake up, the relationships you nurture, and the sense of fulfillment you carry in your heart. That's what lifestyle is all about. It's the sum of the choices you make every single day. And here's the truth. Your lifestyle is either a source of inspiration and joy, or a constant drain on your spirit. You decide which one it's going to be. Now let's get real. What kind of life are you building for yourself? Are you truly living, or are you just getting by? Because there's a big difference. Living means you're engaged, present, and intentional about how you spend your time and energy. Getting by, that's just survival. Going through the motions, waiting for some magical moment to make things better. But life doesn't work that way. You don't stumble into a great lifestyle. You design it. You build it, piece by piece, moment by moment. Think about this. Everything you do, from the way you spend your mornings to the people you surround yourself with, contributes to the quality of your life. It's not just about the big milestones or the grand achievements. It's the small, seemingly insignificant choices that shape your days, and over time, those days become your life. For instance, what does your morning look like? Do you wake up with purpose, excited about the day ahead, or do you hit snooze 3 times and dread getting out of bed? Your mornings set the tone for your entire day, and your days add up to your life. So ask yourself, are your mornings helping you create the kind of life you want? Let's talk about your environment, because it plays a huge role in your lifestyle. Who do you spend your time with? What kind of energy do they bring into your life? Are they uplifting, encouraging, and inspiring, or are they draining and negative? The people you surround yourself with either push you forward or hold you back. If you're serious about creating a better lifestyle, you've got to be intentional about your relationships. Spend time with people who challenge you to grow, who believe in your potential, and who make life more enjoyable. But lifestyle isn't just about relationships. It's also about how you take care of yourself. What are you doing to nurture your mind, body, and spirit? Are you eating foods that energize you, or are you fueling your body with junk? Are you moving your body, staying active, and keeping yourself healthy? Or are you letting bad habits pile up, hoping they won't catch up with you? Your health is the foundation of your lifestyle. Without it, nothing else really matters. And let's not forget your mental and emotional well-being. How often do you take time to reflect, to unplug, to just be with yourself? In a world that's constantly pulling us in a million directions, creating space for yourself is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Whether it's journaling, meditating, or simply sitting in silence, those moments of stillness help you stay grounded and connected to what truly matters. You know, a big part of creating a meaningful lifestyle is understanding what you value most, what lights you up, what gives your life meaning. For some, it's spending time with family. For others, it's pursuing a passion or contributing to something bigger than themselves. Whatever it is, you've got to align your life with those values. Because if you're chasing things that don't truly matter to you, you'll always feel empty, no matter how much you achieve. Let me give you an example. I once met a man who had built an incredibly successful business. From the outside, it looked like he had it all: wealth, recognition, and power. But when I sat down with him, he told me he felt completely unfulfilled. He'd spent years chasing success, but in the process, he'd neglected his health, his family, and his personal happiness. He realized he'd been building someone else's version of success, not his own. Don't let that be you. Define what success means to you and build a lifestyle that reflects it. Now let's talk about balance. Some people think balance means dividing your time equally between work, family, health, and leisure. But real balance isn't about splitting your time. It's about being fully present in whatever you're doing. When you're working, give it your all. When you're with your family, be there completely. When you're taking care of yourself, don't feel guilty about it. Balance is about living with intention, not perfection. And here's something you might not hear often. Your lifestyle should include joy. Yes, joy. Life isn't just about grinding and achieving. It's about savoring the journey. What makes you happy? What makes you laugh, smile, and feel alive? Make time for those things. Whether it's traveling, spending time in nature, pursuing a hobby, or just having a good conversation with a friend, those moments of joy are what make life worth living. But let me be clear. Creating a great lifestyle isn't about luxury or excess. It's not about having the biggest house, the fanciest car, or the most impressive resume. It's about quality of time, quality of relationships, quality of experiences. It's about living in a way that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you are. Now here's the hard truth. Creating the lifestyle you want takes work. It takes discipline to say no to things that don't serve you. It takes courage to make changes and step out of your comfort zone. And it takes patience, because building something worthwhile doesn't happen overnight. But let me tell you, it's worth it. Every step you take toward a better lifestyle brings you closer to the life you've always wanted. So here's my challenge to you. Take a good, honest look at your life right now. What's working? What's not? What's bringing you joy? And what's holding you back? And then decide what needs to change. Start small if you have to. Maybe it's creating a morning routine that energizes you, or spending more time with people who inspire you, or making one healthier choice each day. Whatever it is, take that first step. Because here's the thing. Your lifestyle isn't just about you. It affects everyone around you. Your family, your friends, your community. When you create a life that's full of joy, purpose, and meaning, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of what's possible. So don't settle for a life that's anything less than extraordinary. You have the power to design a lifestyle that not only brings you happiness, but also leaves a positive impact on the world. It all starts with a choice. The choice to live with intention, to align your actions with your values, and to create a life that feels truly yours. Make that choice today. You deserve it.